Hello, viewers. Welcome to EduSoft Knowledge Verse. First of all, we would like to thank you all to make this channel a big success, and this could not have been possible without you. We are really glad that you enjoyed all the videos, and today we are standing at one big milestone with more than 1500 subscribers, lakhs of views, and people are loving our videos like anything. So this is what we have achieved in these 3 months. The channel just started in 3 months back. Well, this video is the first part of the series on Python. So this series is having a set of videos which you will be going through for learning the basics of Python, the fundamentals of Python. Talking about Python as one programming language, it is one of the most popular and most sought of language today. Reason being, first of all, that it is a very easy to learn language. You can easily learn it because its syntax actually resembles, it's very close to English language. So if somebody is aspiring to learn Python, it is very easy to learn, get along with it. Now, when we talk about the features of Python, the first and foremost feature is that it is a very simple language, close to English, so it can be easily understood by even a new budding programmer. And then it is a portable language. Portable means the programs developed in Python can run on different platforms, on different uh, devices, on different operating systems. So that way, the programs in Python are portable. It is an interpreter based language. That means when you run the program will run line by line as long as program does not encounter any error. As long as the moment the program encounters any error, it throws that error. That error needs to be fixed, and then programmer can move on. So this way it is interpreter based. The programs which are written in Python are called scripts. Now, this is one thing. Then another great power which comes with Python is it's a rich and huge library of functions and other programs. So there is a library of already created functions, built-in functions which you can pick and use and develop your solutions. So these are certain major features of Python. Now, as we move on to learning Python, trying different programs, we'll discover other power that lies within Python. So shall we directly move on to the programming part of Python? Now let's dive right into Python and enjoy the exciting moments with it. So first of all, let us see how to install Python. You can download it from python.org, and after installation, you run the installer. In the first screen, you select customize installation, click on next. Then you select all the features which you want to install. It's a good practice you take them all. Click on next, and finally, once it is done, the setup is successful. Click on close button. So this way your Python language and Python idle, the development environment for Python, will be installed on your computer. Here I open the idle from the menu, Python idle, that is integrated development and learning environment. This is interactive mode where Python command prompt is there. I can issue the commands one by one and the output will be displayed. This is interactive mode where whatever commands you give here will not be saved. You can issue the commands and the output will be displayed. This is a good way to practice the commands when you are learning the language. Now let us move on to the other mode, that is script mode. Scripts are Python programs actually. I click on File, New File, and here is one script window. In this script window, I can write my Python script, save it and run it. So I'm just using one simple command. I'm trying to display the addition of 8 and 5. I click on save. That's the usual way of saving a file. Python files are having extension .py or .pyw. In a location, I give some file name. Then I click on save button as usual. File is saved and ready to be run. To run the file, I click on run menu and click on run module option or F5. I can press F5 also, and here it is. The output is working. So this way I can write Python scripts. Let me add one more command. Let's say displaying some string in double quotes. Strings always go into double quotes. So here I have written one string. This must work. Let us see if this really works. Let us run it. And it is showing me the interpreter has thrown as one error because I actually forgot to close the string, put the closing double quote. Now this should surely work. Error is removed and program is working fine. So this way scripts are saved and they can be used anytime later on also. Moving on to comments, constants and variables, the very basics of programming. Comments are a good way to document your programs. Anybody who's going through the comments can easily figure out what your program is actually doing. Just like any other programming language, in Python also comments are single line also and multi-line also. You see hash sign there in the first line. Any statement which is preceded by hash sign is a single line comment and program ignores it from execution. Multiple line comments are enclosed within triple single quotes or triple double quotes. You see that green colored multi-line comment. If you read the comment, you can figure out the purpose of the comments. Now, constants and variables. These are the building blocks of our programs in a way that they hold the values which we are going to process. Constants, as the name suggests, are those identifiers which denote fixed values. Like in the context of cricket, 1 over has 6 balls. So there is a constant named over size given a fixed value 6. This will not change throughout the program. So constants hold those values which are fixed. And by practice, constants are kept in uppercase. Nobody is going to stop you if you are giving a name in lowercase, but that is something we follow as a standard of programming. You see the constant duck is there. Duck means out on 0. So the constant duck is given a fixed value 0 and other constants are also created. But if you look at variables, balls played and runs made in line 17 and 18, they have a very different way of being declared. Their names, if you see, the second syllable, first letter P is capital in balls played and M is capital in runs made. This is called camel case. So this camel case makes the variables readable, in which from second syllable the first letter is kept capital. And in line 20 you see how a variable is being compared with a constant. Instead of saying 0, we are using the identifier duck, which makes the program more natural to understand. It is giving one more natural English way, English touch to the program instead of numeric. So this is how comments, constants and variables make the very basic of programming in Python. And this is the very fundamental of writing any program. Every program you will be using constants and variables. So now let us see how do we take input from the user. When we run the program should throw a prompt to the user what to input. How many balls did this player play? Or for example, how many runs did this player make? So those prompts can be thrown by the help of input function. Those prompts are actually strings in double quotes, and they are passed into input function as parameter. And once that input function runs, it displays that prompt to the user and waits for the input. Whatever user inputs and presses enter is returned by the input function into the variable which is waiting there. You see line 1 and 2, balls played is equal to input function. Whatever user enters will go into balls played. In second line, whatever value entered by the user will go into runs made. And then I'm calculating performance by dividing runs made. See line 6, runs made divided by balls played, forward slash is for division. So let us see and let us run our program. We are taking balls played and runs made from the user. Here is the prompt. How many balls did this player play? Input function is waiting. And when the user will type some value and press enter, input function is returning that value into variable balls played. Similarly, 19 goes to runs made. But here is the error. Program is saying that you are trying to divide one str with another str. Str means a string that is text. So my program is treating 12 and 19 as text, not numbers. That's why this error has come. So what could be wrong here? Let us find out. Actually, input function returns everything, every value as a string. No matter user has entered number from there, but input will return it as a string. So numbers 12 and 19 entered by the user were actually in nature a string type. That is why division was not happening. What is the way out? The way out is that somehow I should be able to convert those 12 and 19, those numbers in a string format, into their corresponding numeric format. For that, I need a special function. In Python, that function is int function. Let us see how I am going to use int function to convert the string and returned by input function into in their corresponding numbers. Here it is, int function I am going to type, and within int function I am putting that variable which contains the number in string form, balls played that is. Int function is returning its numeric form in the variable balls played itself. Runs made is also converted. See. So in line 6 and 7, balls played and runs made now are numeric type. In line 1 and 2, they were string type. In line 6 and 7, int function is converting those string type values into number type and storing them in the corresponding variables themselves. Balls played and runs made. Now this division should happen. How many balls? Input function is waiting. User is entering 12, pressing enter. 12 gone to input function. 19 converted to numeric, and division 1.58 is the result. So behind the scene, int function is converting string 12, string 19 to numeric 12 and numeric 19. There is another shortcut way. So I'm removing these two lines. I'm converting these two statements into comments. And see what I'm doing is in the very beginning, I'm enclosing entire input function within int function. That means whatever is returned by input function will be immediately passed into int function, and then int function will convert that value into numeric form and will assign it to the corresponding variable waiting there. So this is one shortcut. It's all the same. The output will not be changed as such. Only inside processing, the way of processing is changed. Immediate conversion I am doing in the line 1 and 2 itself. You see the relation? Int function is returning the values now, taken from input function immediately. And if I run this program, let's see, output will be all the same. First input function 12 converted to 12, 19 converted to 19, 1.58 is the result. So now is the time to clean the program. When everything is working fine, I have tested everything is working fine, I get rid of unnecessary lines, and here is my program, sweet little 5-line program doing conversion from string to int. Let us see some more conversions. String to int, that means an int can also be converted into float value, or a float value or int can be converted into a string, or a string into int. All type of conversions are possible. Here x is string 5, y is 20. If you perform multiplication with a string and an int, multiplication operator will work as repeat operator. 5 is repeated 20 times. The string is repeated 20 times. Now it will give us 100 multiplication, because 5 string was converted to int. X is 5, y is 2.5 float value. So if we perform any arithmetic operation, the result will be float. Any operation between int and float will give us float value 7.5. Let us now convert an int into float, or a float into int first. A float value 2.5 is passed into int. It will return only number form, that is 2. Addition will give us 7. 0.5 is gone. The other way around, if we try to convert an int into float by using float function, it is given a numeric value that will be 2.0. The value returned will be a float type. 6. It's not 6, it is 6.0. Similarly, numbers can also be converted back to strings. So here 5 is there and y is equal to 3. If I say str function is a string function, to convert the things into string, str value 5 is converted into string type, stry 3 is converted into string type, and that is why addition operator here is working as concatenation. It is joining the two strings, giving us 5, 3. Did you notice there? If I try to perform an operation on a string addition y, this will be an error. A string or text cannot be added with a number. That's not possible. Hence the error here. Now let us see some quick arithmetic. Plus and minus operators are well known to everybody. Here let us see, x is 23, y is 3. X divided by y will give me some float value, yes, 7.6. But if I want to suppress the float value, I use double forward slash. Then let us see the multiplication. Multiplication is denoted by single star asterisk. But if I'm going to use two asterisk, that means exponent. X double star y is x to the power y. Here modulo operation is happening. Remainder of the division, 23 divided by 3, 3 sevens are 21, remaining 2 is displayed. So modulo operator is percentage sign. It is returning the remainder of the division operation. Plus equal to means x is equal to x plus y. Variable is equal to variable plus the new value. So that's a shortcut. Similarly, x multiplied, that is x is equal to x multiplied by y. There must be, this thing can be done with other operators also, division and modulo also. X is equal to x divided by y. That means that's the shorthand for x is equal to x divided by y. Similarly, this is the shorthand for x is equal to x modulo y. Now let's have a little look at how Python treats the strings. If you see here in the very first line, that is line number 2, first line is empty. In line number 2 there is a string in which there is another string. A string within has its own double quotes and main string has its own double quotes. So there is a set of double quotes within double quotes. Let us run this program and check it out. That is invalid. Python does not allow same type of quotes. It cannot be a double quote within double quote or a single quote within single quote. It has to be, if outer is double quote, then it should enclose single quote only. So now I'm placing single quotes there. The rest of the program I'm converting into comment for a while just to check line number 2. This should work fine now. Single quotes within double quote. Perfect. So that is working fine. You see the output, and it can be other way around also. It can be single quotes and closing double quotes. So I'm doing the reverse now. See, single quote is going to enclose a set of double quotes. This also works in Python. So you cannot have all the quotes of same type. It has to be a combination. One type enclosing the other type. See, this is working. So that is the game with the double quotes. We have to be careful with double quotes like this. Moving on to the rest of the program, let us see. In line 4, here a variable str is given a string in double quotes, archipelago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 characters are there. Let us see. How is it working? Let us understand. Line 5, str 0. So strings are 0 based arrays kind of arrangement. First letter is at index 0. So this is how I use it. Variable name within square brackets the index position. str0 here is referring to the first A. str10, if you count from 0, the 11th letter will be at position 10. So str10 is giving me O. Minus negative value means from reverse. So minus 1 is first letter from right hand side. Minus 9 is ninth letter. See the difference between the index and the count. 10 is the index, but minus 9 is not index. Minus 9 is the count from the right hand side. Ninth letter from right hand side. That's the difference. str10 is the 11th letter, but minus 9 is ninth letter. See, if I say minus 10, what will happen? And if I say 10, what is the difference? So I'm saying print str10, that is index 10, but minus 10 is actually the position count. See, str10 is giving me O, that is 11th letter. Minus 10 is giving me R. If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Minus 10 is 10th letter from the reverse, from right hand side, that is R. So you see the difference between displaying the character in reverse. In reverse, it is actually the count of that letter from right hand side. But if the value is positive, it is actually the index of that letter. So this is the very basics of Python. Comments, variables, arithmetic operators, conversion functions, shorthand arithmetic and assignment, and how the strings are treated.